Hey, Shalom, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rachakwadash. The honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect, Yahweh Bashem Shabrakadam. This is your brother Aishiar from the GMS Cleveland Church. Uh, Back to the lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. I hope it's edifying to one of the Lord's elect. And this is Guy Money GPS. It's pretty good on finances and economics. Uh, And he has a video. It says how the Rockefellers combined with the Rothschilds, the secret cabal, and pretty much the wicked is being exposed, man. Okay, those who control the world are being exposed, man. All right, let's see what this guy has to say about the Rockefellers. We're gonna go into some history. Um, I want to grab a preset real quick. This is the book of Jeremiah 49:7 concerning Edom. Thus said the Lord of hosts. Right, Edom in the Hebrew is uh Adawam, which means red. All right, Adawam, which means red, and he was named red because because of the venison that our forefather Jacob cooked him. All right, it was red, but before his name was later changed to well, his name wasn't changed, but his descendants was named Edomites. The forefather of the Edomites is a man named Esau. Well, once you go into the word Esau in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, uh, uh, Esau is Ishashua, which means wasted away is he. Why? Because he has no melanin, he has no pigment. All right, so this is a message to you Edomites, okay, you so-called white people. It says concerning Edom, thus said the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Now the Teman represents the Germans, okay. Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? And in this book, Satan Angels Exposed, it tells you that the Illuminati, all Freemasonry, and all types of shit like that, all these secret councils started in Germany, man. All right, and even the Rothschilds and Rockefellers descend from Germany, man. Okay, and their wisdom is being perished, and their prudent is counsel perished from the prudent, is the wisdom vanished. Why? Because they cannot hide themselves no more, man. All right, they're being exposed. Let's get into it.
If a billionaire admitted that they were part of a secret cabal, would you listen? That's what we're going to talk about today, specifically the Rockefellers. You may have heard of them before. They have been a prominent family for many years. I'm going to get into their history, show you the connection between the Rockefellers and another very important family you might have heard about, the Rothschilds, and then we're going to look at some of the other aspects just to awaken you and open your mind to some questions. My name is David Quintieri, and what I do at this channel is peel back the layers of the onion so that you are able to understand the truth, ask the right questions, make the right decisions with your money, and of course, learn about what's happening in the economy. The very first thing we need to talk about today is the history. Our journey begins in the heart of the American dream, where a man named John D. Rockefeller built an empire that would shape the world. Founding the Standard Oil Company in 1870, Rockefeller didn't just strike it rich, he redefined wealth. He became the world's first billionaire, amassing a fortune. So this is a time in which billionaires.
See, they give you the so-called good side, but they don't tell you what this man did and where to get these things. See, it was John Rockefeller. He changed the ways of Western medicine. Okay, you can go into the history on that. Came up with many unrighteous decrees against the so-called North American Indians, which represent the tribe of Gads. He came up with so many decrees against their holistic healing. All right, when the Lord said He gave herbs bearing seed, okay, we came out of elements. We're supposed to put the elements back into our body, but this man outlaws it, okay. And that started with John D. Rockefeller, man, and the medicine, Western medicine, man. All right, I don't want to say too much; they might strike it, but research John D. Rockefeller. All right.
Weren't exactly so common. But of course, as time goes on, we start to realize their connections and the things that they've done. But Rockefeller's ambitions didn't stop at oil. With his immense wealth, he played a key role in creating and funding the Federal Reserve. In doing so,
You see, this is he has a hand in everything, man. You see, showing you that the Federal Reserve is controlled by a certain group of people, man. Okay, and those certain group of people control what? All the monetary systems, man. All the central banks, man. Specifically the Rothschilds, man. All right.
he placed his family above the US government in terms of power and influence. If you're not aware of this, this is an absolute fact. If you study the history and understand what happened during Jekyll Island, you start to realize that, wait a second, these people are able to control these levels? Well, of course, I've done videos about this before and one not too long ago. People should be aware of that. They need to understand who is really in control. Who is making these rules? And of course, you tend to find it's those in the elite status, or so-called elite. In 1911, the Supreme Court, alarmed at the incredible monopoly Standard Oil held, forced its breakup into smaller companies. But don't be fooled, okay? Because that's what they say, right? We're going to break them up. We're going to make sure they're not a monopoly. Well, these smaller companies are now titans in their own right. Ever hear of ExxonMobil, Chevron, ConocoPhillips? They all have roots in Standard Oil. Oh, we're going to break them up, all right. But of course, all the parts become greater than the total. Isn't that the way it works so many times before? Today, the Rockefeller legacy lives on.
Now Esau's blessing was the oil. Okay. Uh, let's grab that. That's Genesis 27. All right. This is how we link Esau. All right. This is Genesis 27:39. Now Isaac his father answered and said unto him, who Esau, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of the heaven from above. All right. Now we go into this word fatness. Let's see what the NLT says. Oh, you will live away from the richness of the earth. All right. Which is, yeah, that's fatness too. This man's real greedy, man. All right. To the point where he wants your soul, man. Now, it's to say for fatness, it says what? Oil. You see? Oil. All right. And this man has control. He controls the oils. He controls the world oil, man. Okay. These descendants, man. All right.
And there's suggestions that their wealth is spread amongst about 150 blood relatives. But the question remains, how deep does this oil well go? And I want to talk about a few things here. I want to get into the members of the family, those that are prominent, but start to ask these questions. If they were able to help set up the Federal
See, and the Lord put the spirit on this man to do this video, man. Cause to have information on these devils is how deep their wickedness goes. The Lord has to be dealing with you, man. He has to put the spirit on you to reveal these things, because this is high level knowledge, man. All right, the wicked is being revealed, man. Now I'm not saying none of these, the Lord, he put the spirit on it. He did put spirits on heathens to reveal things, you know. And what do the elect do? The men of the Lord do nowadays. We take this and link it up with prophecy. All right.
Fact. If they set up one of the biggest companies ever, Standard Oil, it got broken up into smaller pieces, then those became huge on their own. What else have they done? John D. Rockefeller Sr., he was born in 1839. He co-founded Standard Oil in 1870, ran it until they officially retired in 1897. Standard Oil was an innovative and aggressive company, and the Rockefellers' wealth soared as kerosene and gasoline became important commodities. By the time of his death, In 1937, his assets equaled, check this out, to 1.5% of America's total economic input. So the total GDP, the guy has 1.5% of it. And that's what we know of. That's like the public wealth, like the Forbes 500 type. Now think about that for a second. That's massive. John D. Rockefeller.
You see that, man? These devils got the riches, man. All right, let's grab that, man. The Book of Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? All right, the wicked. All right, when you go to Malachi 1:4, it tells you that the wicked, the border of wickedness is Esau, Edom. Okay, and the earth is given into this man's hands. These devils own everything on this planet, man. Anything you need to survive, they have a hand in it, man. All right. And once again, he's not gonna be satisfied until he receives your soul, man. All right. And I don't know if he gonna reveal it in this video, but this is the plan of these devils, man.
Rockefeller Jr. From 1874. He was the only son of John D. Rockefeller. He developed Rockefeller Center in New York City. It was instrumental in the decision to locate the United Nations in New York. Remember that? UN. I could go in a hole down in that rabbit hole if you'd like. He also donated land for national parks, including Grand Teton and Acadia. Basically, the guy is doing a lot, but why do people do this?
See, and this is the thing, these devils came over here and raped, robbed, and murdered a whole group of people, man. And then profited off of it, man. Alright. This is the book of Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. Alright. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand, man. In the NLT, it says, what sorrow awaits you who lie awake at night thinking up evil plans, right? And that's what these devils do. Okay, most of their major wicked evil plots are executed on a third or fourth watch, which is between 12 and 3 and 3 and 6. All right. That's when they do most of their wicked evil plots, man. Or everybody's asleep. It says you rise at dawn and hurry to carry them out. See, at dawn. Simply because you have power to do so. The power is given to them from on high. Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It says they covet fields and take them by violence, right? And houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage, man. And that's pretty much what they did. These Rockefellers, all Edomites, starting with the Spanish Inquisition and Cristobal Colon, this is what they have been doing over here in the Western Hemisphere, man. All right, and their greed has not stopped. Okay. Uh, let's continue.
Do this? Well, you could say for tax write-off purposes and all these things. But
they oppress a man heritage, man. Heritage goes back to inheritance, which means land, portion. And this was the tribe of Gad's portion, man, as well as the rest of the 10 tribes from the northern kingdom. This whole western hemisphere was the heritage of the northern kingdom, Israel. Okay. What did these devils do? They literally committed genocide and put the rest of the people into captivity by uh, having them under their rule, man.
comes at a price. Nothing in life is free, right? Nelson Rockefeller, 1908. He served as the 41st Vice President of the United States under President Gerald Ford. He was also a 4-term governor of New York, 1959, all right? He was a leading figure in the moderate wing of the Republican Party. So you could see they've got politicians, they've got the biggest businesses, they've got the wealth. All of these things. Let me move forward a little bit. David Rockefeller, 1915. He was a prominent banker, philanthropist. That word totally abused.
Say a banker. Now, this guy has a hand in everything, man. Okay, and if I'm not mistaken, he founded the Bilderberg Group and Trilateral Commission, as well as the Council of Foreign Relations. You see, and those entities have a major part of what's going on in today's world, man. Okay, they're facilitating uh the plots of the wicked, man. Okay,
today, and public servant. He was the chairman and chief executive of Chase Manhattan Corporation and is noted for his wide-ranging political connections and foreign travel. So the guy was out there, he was very popular, you would prominent figure, you would see his face in different places. Okay, David Rockefeller. And of course all the Bilderberg meetings, everything like this.
see,
So there's something about David Rockefeller which you may have been aware of, if not. So at this point you might be thinking, what's this guy talking about? Is it really that important? There's a lot of rich people. Yeah, I know Jeff Bezos. He's got a big yacht and everybody wants to yell and scream at him. But in David Rockefeller's book, Memoirs, this is a quote. Some even believe, the Rockefeller family, we are part of a secret cabal working against the best interests of the United States, characterizing my family and me as internationalists, and of conspiring with others around the world to build a more integrated global political and economic structure. One world, if you will. If that's the charge, I stand guilty, and I am proud of it.
hey, see, this nigga said he's staying guilty, man. See, man, hold on, man. This is the book of Psalm 64 and 1. It says, "Hear my voice, O power, and my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked and the insurrections of the workers of iniquity," man. Yeah, the uprising of the workers of iniquity. Now, iniquity is sin on top of sin. You're just laying in it, or laden, okay? Uh, which means you pretty much uh you enjoy doing it, man. Okay, and this is what these Edomites do. They enjoy committing iniquity, man. All right. It says, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity." Right. Now I'm gonna jump down to verse 8. It says, "So shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves." All these things that you mentioned behind closed doors, now they're coming out in the light, man. Right. Yahweh said, uh, everything pretty much that's done in the dark shall come to the light. All right. It says, "All that see them shall flee away," man. Yeah. And a lot of these countries are starting to separate from America, man. All right. Because this is that horde that's controlling the beast, which represents NATO and the EU. Okay. And which is controlling the whole fucking world. And these countries is going to eventually turn on America and shoot missiles at this place, man. All right. Our forefather John seen 200 million nuclear warheads hitting America. The Satan 2 missile Russia has made, it holds 15 nuclear warheads inside of one Sarmat 2. All right, and it said it can blow up the whole land of the UK. All right, Eh, and they know that's where the Rockefellers is at, man. You see, and that place is gonna get hit too. America's gonna be totally wiped out. A lot of places gonna be hit. Even Israel is gonna get hit, but these slaves gonna have to build it up. These Rothschilds and Rockefellers are gonna be the first cattle, man. All right, because they're gonna be grabbed up, man. Why? For all their wickedness, man.
Now, some suggest that that was taken out of context, saying that, hey, he wants to build a more unified world, that people can get along, businesses.
Wait, what's that? That's First Maccabees. All right, he said we all shall get along. All right. Uh, Also, just like in the book of Genesis, when they started to build, all right, they came together as one. All right. What is that? Should all be one. Let me just type that in. I think that's the first chapter. Oh fuck, Salakia. But yeah, give me 1 second. They shall all be one. Let me type in one. God damn, Salakia. Cause that's what they calling to do. They want a one world government. Okay, Revelation 13, where they're gonna cause all, both small and great, right, rich and poor, free and bond, to what, receive a mark in their right, or in right, or in the forehead, roughly paraphrasing. Uh, this is, yeah, it's the first chapter. It says, moreover, right, First Maccabees 1:41, and moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, right, and everyone should leave his laws, so all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. You see, and that this is what all these Edomites are always about: one world, okay, with them ruling, all right, because they know that that was their blessing that they're supposed to have, but he was supplanted, all right, the second time around. But the first time around, he gave up his birthright, okay, which will be for him, for everybody to serve him, okay. But that blessing has been given to Jacob, okay. And Esau has been pretty much envious of Jacob ever since the blessing. To where Esau said he will have war with his brother Jacob. All right, after the days of his mourning for his father, and he has kept his word, man. All right, and if you don't participate in this man's system, all right, when you go to that word kill, it pretty much means ostracized from society, or literally to be killed. Okay, how are you going to be ostracized from society? Uh, when you don't have the MARK and you can't buy or sell. Okay, it's pretty much simple, man. All right, everything they want to bring in a digital system. Okay, once again, I don't know if he's going to mention that, but let's keep going.
And of course, globalization. All right, but it's not really, okay, because you could see how he talks about literally saying a cabal. He's using one world, and basically saying that, we want to collude, we want to do things in secret, we want to make these things happen because we can benefit. He didn't say anything about benefiting the majority of people. It wasn't said, and it wasn't even suggested. Do you see where I'm going with this? This is extremely important. They always project these things, and they use the terms and they use these phrases that people, oh, that's good, oh, that's good, I can agree with that, but they don't.
Oh, I got a precept because he said secret councils, man. All right, and then these secret councils, what do? They devise wicked plots, man. This is Isaiah 29:15. Woe to them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth this and who knoweth this? Because behind these closed doors, what are they doing? They're rearranging the ordinances of the Heavenly Father, man. All right, and His only begotten Son. That's why it says in the next verse, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. This place is upside down to the point where you no longer trade goods without a dollar being and the middleman. All right, to the point where men can breastfeed. Okay, this is what these men with all these riches are doing. They're pushing forth confusion. It says, for shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he have no understanding? And that's pretty much Esau's persona. He questions what's right, all right, and he tries to change what's already set forth, man. All right, let's continue watching.
Realize that the benefit of what he's talking about is for the select few. That's just the way it goes. And then we move over, across the Atlantic. We find another family, a name synonymous with wealth and power, the Rothschilds. Their story begins in the 18th century with a banking business that would grow into an international financial dynasty. I recently actually did a video about them. The Rothschilds aren't just a footnote in history, they're a dominant chapter. The family's wealth and influence extend to international banking and beyond, yet mysteriously, their name often remains off the record, hidden from the public eye. Before we go into this, as part of how these two...
You see how, how low, how behind secret, how Esau just moves in the dark, right? He thought nobody would notice him, man. All right. It says Obadiah 1:6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? You see, because it was once possible to find out who Esau Edom was. Okay, because this man was very crafty. Okay, he controls every aspect of life to the point where he can push his false ideologies and his lies and make people believe him. All right, but the spirit of the Lord uh, has been sent, down here from Yahweh Shah through the Rakakwadash, and it has taught us all things, man, through the head apostles and through their teachers, man. All right, to where this devil is being exposed. All right.
Collaborate today, Rothschilds and Rockefellers, I ask if you're finding this valuable to hit that like button. All right. Now, in 2012, these two titans of industry intertwined their fates when RIT Capital Partners, that's part of the Rothschild banking dynasty.
Now they're part of the same family, man. Rockefeller's just the English way of saying Rothschilds. All right.
Bought a stake in Rockefeller Financial Services, a union of old money and older money connecting two continents, two histories, and one undeniable truth, that power begets power. This is something I covered back then when it first happened, and I'm still bringing it up today because we know how important it is. We live in a world where a handful of families hold sway over the masses, where wealth and influence have become hereditary traits. But remember that knowledge is power. Doesn't mean that you have to succumb to all of that which they're forcing on people. This is something I talk about all the time, but of course, it's the pillars of prosperity. There are so many people today that have their own homestead, solar panels, geothermal, the garden in the backyard, massive garden, all these things, and the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs of this world, lockdowns, all these different things, they don't affect them because that's the way that they've gone. Or there's other people that have accumulated, they're, let's say, ultra high net worth individuals. For the most part, they're not going to be affected by these things. So there are different ways out of this. It's time for us to basically plot our own course. And that's why you're here at the Money GPS.
See, that's where these mere mortals go wrong, man. You're thinking like a mortal, man. You're not gonna build inside somebody else's kingdom, man. Or you're always gonna be a servant, a borrower to the lender, because everything you have is lent to you here in this world, man. Or you own nothing, Jake.
Because this is your guide around these different difficult landscapes, all right? And that's what I'm here to tell you here. If you found this information...
Yeah, that guy looks kind of nervous, but I want to find this guy, Richard Werner. He was talking about the Bank of London, and he was going to. Well, I'm gonna just find it, because for you people who don't believe that the Heavenly Father, His Word is faithful and true, right? We're gonna see real soon, man. All right, I can't really find it. Just type it in. There we go, right here. You see? Let's check this out.
With Robinhood, you're a whole investment firm of one. Make informed decisions with advanced charts.
How have the central bank...
Now, the central bank game plan in under 3 minutes. Okay. Now, who controls the central banks? The Rothschilds, man. All right. The Rothschilds control the banks. They control the world. All right. And this is what they want to do. All right. Hold on. All right. This is the book of Psalms 73. I'm going to start at 5. It says, they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued as other men. Talking about who? These elites, man. They don't worry about nothing. They got no fucking worries, man. Besides the prophets, man. All right. And it says they are not plagued like other men. These men ain't going through nothing, man. They're not missing a car note. They don't have a car note, bro. See what I'm saying? They don't have no bills, man. All right. It says, therefore, pride compasseth them about as a chain. See, they think they're generational wealth. They're above the law. You see, violence covered them as a garment. See, they have so much power they can do as they please, man. All right. And nobody's going to hurt them, man. Right. Still, just like finding a nigga who committed a murder. And he's still wearing the same clothes, man. All right. No, you don't do nothing to him. That means what? All right. They have power, man. All right. It says their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than the heart could wish, man. Yeah, and that's it. They do. They have more than the heart can wish. All right. To the point where, uh, uh, you know, it's like greedy dogs. They can never have enough. Roughly paraphrasing that scripture. They're never satisfied, man. All right. Esau has to heap all people unto him. All right, for him to be satisfied, man.
Banks, this is my last slide because my 12 minutes is just up, have reacted to the truth coming out. They admit that they've been telling porkies, and now they propose to increase their power. So central bankers belatedly admit, oh, now that you've mentioned it, yes, banks create the money supply. So let's abolish that now. And also, by the way, let's abolish cash. So what should we do? Well, introduce digital cyber currency that central banks issue and control, and thereby gain total control over all economic transactions, decisions, and the whole lot you've just heard from the CEO of the GDI. So the greatest concentration of central banking power in history is really the bid they're aiming at. That's the central bank's goal. And of course, digital accounts of dissenters and regime critics could be switched off. It'd be very difficult to even purchase necessities. So
you see, this system is pretty much, it's gonna be like the brother said on the line this is a couple weeks ago. It's pretty much a Sims video game, man. This man wants to have you trapped inside his game, his video game, man. All right, and he's gonna control everything that you do. You're gonna be his player, man. He's gonna be your controller. All right, this man's heart is very deep, man. Very but this once again, this is the left hand side of the Heavenly Father. You see, this is what the Heavenly Father wants to bring to test the world, man.
this is an Orwellian dystopia of total control, the end of any freedoms. That's really what central banks are aiming at. Several central banks have, like the Bank of England, already prepared their microchip implant RFID chip at their what central banks are aiming at. Several central banks have, like the Bank of England, already prepared their microchip implant RFID chip at their what central banks are aiming at. Several central banks have, like the Bank of England, already prepared their microchip implant RFID chip to be implanted under your skin.
You see, so the Bank of London, who? The Bank of England? What did you say? Say it one more time.
At their what central banks are aiming at. Several central banks have, like the Bank of England, already prepared.
The Bank of England, man. All right, where pretty much where the finances are of the beast. All right, the three unclean spirits like frogs. All right, I'm not gonna say of the beast, but the not the Vatican, but the Bank of London is one of the three unclean spirits, a city state. Okay, the Bank of London or England, whatever the hell it is. It's pretty much where you know uh, uh he funds his wicked agendas, man. All right.
Their microchip implant RFID chip to be implanted under your skin. And why is the sudden discussion about universal basic income from all the grassroots and inverted commas movements and billionaires? Oh, universal basic income is the bribe for you to accept the microchip. The overarching trend of the 20th century is concentration of power in the hands of the few. That's what we have to keep in mind. We have to work against this. We don't want to have these unaccountable central planners making decisions. We need decentralization, and the solution, therefore, is to maintain public money in the hands of local community banks, decentralize decision-making, give local people the power in the form of local public banks and local not-for-profit community banks. As I walked in, I was delighted to see that the
Well, yeah, that's pretty much it, man. You know, Esau is being exposed, man. All right, and I'm gonna leave an article dealing with the history of you know these devils. All right, dealing with the you know the so-called cabal. You know, if this video doesn't get struck, you know, because that man of sin is being revealed, man. All right. Let me go to Job chapter 5 and 12. It says, He disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise, man. Yeah, and that's pretty much what Yahweh Shem Shah is going to do. Okay, because as soon as Esau implements this system, Jacob's trouble, all right, when he rolls out that MOTB, Jacob's trouble is going to pop off, man. All right, and it's going to be a time like no other. Right, but what is going to happen? The Lord is going to rain missiles upon this man while he's fulfilling his belly, man. All right. And so, yeah, I'm gonna close out. Lord Williams was edifying to one of the Lord's elect. Want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the elect. Kwam Yasharallah Shalom.